Hi, my name is Anna. This poster is made for the Armenian Language classroom to address the issue of monolingualism in Australian schools as a form of social control. The poster represents an advertisement of an Armenian community language school as an additional opportunity and resource for learning not only the language, but the history, art, religion, and other features of ethnicity. Why? My students would wonder, why should I learn more than what we are already learning at school? I could give a language-specific answer, but leaving aside all the objective and subjective arguments about learning a specific language, let's have a more global and critical look at what is currently going on in Australian schools. According to statistics from March 2019, more than a third of students in New South Wales government schools come from homes where languages other than English are spoken, with more than 300 identified languages and dialects. This makes Australia one of the most multicultural and multilingual societies in the world, which is of national significance and should form the basis of Australia's current social policy of multiculturalism. However, despite the significant number of linguistically diverse students, common educational policies and practices continue to focus on promoting the universal development of English literacy as societal and institutional imperative. And to the central question, whom should education be catered to, the critical race theory reveals the concealed answer: white race, Anglo ethnicity, English speaking, Christian, heterosexual, and middle class. In the light of this, CRT provides a critical lens to identify normative white privilege, including monolingualism, as a way of social control. CRT allows us to see that despite demonstrated celebrations of multiculturalism in Australia, multilingualism continues to be perceived largely as a deficit in the context of Australian schooling. The linguistic capital that students bring into classroom is not only ignored, but even evokes a deficit thinking towards the ability of students that are not from the dominant linguistic group. This creates a climate where students and parents become reluctant to retain their bi- or multilingual proficiency, since it is silently deemed incompatible to the Australian model of educational and social success and subsequently access to power. Sadly, it is argued that by losing their background language, people get deprived of an important part of their identity. This is where one of the invisible aspects of social injustice is hidden. And now, with this poster, you can raise your students' awareness of linguistic background value, as well as advantages of multilingualism in general, encourage interaction with the language community, promote participation in language community activities, invite members of language community to your classes for various discussions, and finally, email this poster to parents explaining that in addition and in relation to language teaching, the computer language school will provide their children with the potential for diverse ways of knowing, interacting, speaking, and thinking, along with diverse cultural and linguistic practices in their everyday worlds. This poster is made in a componential way so that you can easily adapt it to other language KLAs, for example the Greek language classroom, as the main message remains the same. With slight changes, the poster is also suitable for history, geography, food technology, and visual art classrooms. In this way, there is a chance that this poster might raise the interest of these classroom students, since the community language school, apart from the language, tackles other subjects as well relevant to the mentioned KLAs. Also, having this poster displayed in their classrooms Teachers might revise their curriculum into a more inclusive and cognitively challenging one to validate and include linguistically diverse students' numerous knowledges, skills, and understandings, giving them power and prestige. Finally, by validating the value of a marginalized language, we also address ethnic and racial discriminations as they are closely connected to the language. Limitation of this poster could possibly be the lack of dynamism. However, this can be compensated by the mentioned pedagogical strategies.